Bismillah, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
So we today want to make video about podcast. The title is Sharing Overseas.
Sharing overseas program. In here, we're gonna talk about country that we want to go at the country, and then we want to get a scholarship at our dream country. So the first one is Arkan. I wanna ask something to Arkan about which country do you want to go, or which your dream country?
Okay, thank you, Reza. For my dream country is China, because in China is so many technology university like Guangzhou University or others, and then in China food is really good, and then the weather, and then the people so very humble, and then in China people can get the jobs is easy because so many technology job in China like AI, robot or others. And then my second country is Taiwan. Is same like China. So many technology university like Taiwan National University that I choose in Taiwan, because in Taiwan is so many job in there. And then the last country that I'll choose is Malaysia. Is the last country if Taiwan and China is cannot. So in Malaysia I chose like Universitas Malaysia, National Malaysia or others. In Malaysia is good people, good food and others. Okay, maybe our Alwi, what's your dream country to visit the country?
So my dreams country I want to visit is, I chose the first one country is US, because my dream of university in US is University Chicago, Illinois. So because why I chose that university, because I want to learn about technology in that university. The second country is Singapore. So in Singapore that I chose the university is University of Singapore, because I want to visit in Singapore also, because in Singapore, yeah, very good country, and the people so kind, and then the third country is Malaysia, also with Arkan. So same with Arkan. Because why in Malaysia um, there is people kind and helpful. Yeah,
At Malaysia, many people kind of.
yeah.
How
Okay.
about living cost?
What
Living cost. Living cost.
living cost?
Yes.
Mm, maybe it, living cost.
Yes.
Maybe an apartment.
Like apartment.
Yeah.
Okay. How much? How much?
How
the price?
much? I don't know because I haven't searched in Google.
Okay.
Why not? Because I'm very busy.
My God. Okay.
So I give mic to Azmi.
This is my time. I want to sharing my dream country. I have my biggest three dream country, I guess. First is Singapore. Why I choose Singapore? Because when I read an article, many people say in Singapore have modern technology and many international university in Singapore, maybe like NUS, National University Singapore, or MUS, Management University Singapore, and maybe if I get a scholarship in Singapore in a most famous university in Singapore, maybe I will get a connection with many people in this world. And then about living costs at Singapore, when I read before yesterday, is it around for accommodation? Is it around $800 until $1,200 in 1 week, 1 week or 1 month, I forget. And then for the lifestyle, is it if you have a good lifestyle in Singapore, the price of your lifestyle is it around $1,500 until $3,000. And then why my second country is Arab or Saudi Arabia, because at my junior high school I learned about Arab language, and then I have a big dream for learn about Quran or about Hadith at Arabic, because it my investation for Akhirah. Then my third dream country is maybe same like Alwi in first dream country is US or United States, because many people at United States is have connection, a good connection at there, and then have many job at there you can do at United States. And then at United States have a many international university that I want to go. And then maybe for a living cost in Singapore and US, I like to in apartment is it around 1,200 per month. And then for in US is it more than in Singapore, is it maybe $1,006 I think in US. So that's my dream country that I want to go, and I want to scholarship at the country. Then for Azmi,
How much is the living cost in China?
In China is cheap because China is the big country, so around in dollar, yeah. In Google I saw is about $800 per month, so it's very cheap for apartment in China. How about you?
How about the food?
Yeah, the food is good in China because similar like Indonesian food, spicy and others lah, with meat, chicken, so many in China, halal food.
The price?
Price maybe same like Indonesia, is around in rupiah around 50 rupiah,
50.
50,000 rupiah or 100,000 rupiah in China. In US, how about the price food is cheap or what?
Price food in
Yes.
US. Price in food in US very very expensive.
Expensive.
Yeah.
There's so many halal food or
So
haram food.
there because that the country not many Muslim people, not many. So there very many food. I mean haram.
How about the transportation from your apartment to campus?
Maybe I use the motorcycle or bike, bike.
Like, okay. Okay. Move to Azmi. What's your dream country and why?
So my dream country is to actually visit those countries in Europe, especially those who have beautiful buildings and architecture, just like in Edinburgh or in England. But it's quite expensive to have study. It's like having a university there could cost you about billion rupiahs every semester, and it takes pretty much a lot of money, and you're not guaranteed to have a job right after finishing or right after graduating from the university. So if I ask about sharing overseas, I'm not going to say I'm going to have a college overseas. I'm not going to go to universities rather than studying. I prefer working overseas. So working in Europe maybe had a lot of difference comparing to Indonesians. How Indonesians work and how the Europeans work are pretty different. Just like the time they start to work, they start at 9 and finish at 5. It's pretty different from Indonesians who start from 7 and ends at 5 or 3. But it's quite good for people who wants to try new environment or new vibes like that, because living in Indonesia is actually good. Everything is cheap, food is affordable, but the thing is sometimes you want to reach your dream higher than you thought. Having a job in Indonesia and earning about $1,000 a month is a pretty hard job, and it takes a lot of hard work to do, and it takes a lot of time, years you're gonna spend, and working outside could grant you over $1,000. Like $1,000 a month is actually a cheap payment for a job like network engineer, especially with network engineering. So working in Europe could pay you over £4,000 or £3,000 sterling a month, and that's over 60 million rupees a month. But the consequences are the living expensive. The living expenses is pretty much expensive comparing to Indonesians, where you eat nasi padang for about 15,000 rupiahs. When you buy nasi padang in England, it'll cost you 100,000. It's pretty different. When you try to buy kebab turkey in Indonesia, it costs you only not even a dollar. When you're trying to buy them, it's going to be like 70,000 or 50,000. It's going to be a hard challenge, but the payment is enough. I'll be working for I'll target about 10 years of work, and then I keep some of my money into my investment, and I'll go back to Indonesia, because but it depends though. If I got married with England woman or British woman or even European, and I'll be living in Europe for my life. Yeah, I'll not be Indonesian anymore. I'll be European. But if I got an Indonesian wife, then I'll go back to Indonesia to actually meet my family as well. But yeah, I think that's my dream country. And oh yeah, if you guys asking about halal food, in countries like Europe, they had a lot of communities with Muslims. In England especially, Muslims are growing fast, but there's a lot of gangster though. Those gangster in England, everybody knows about them. The British gangster, and human trafficking is pretty scary. So I gotta be careful with that. But it is a high risk, high reward. I just gotta get used to the environment and adapt to the country's traditions and everything. But yeah, I think that's all. I really like to work overseas because it's going to give you a lot of money, a ton of money. So what is you guys' job?
For me, or Arkan,
Yeah.
talking
about job. Okay. I want to work before is we in July we have to internship, right, from school. So I want to talk about internship. So the company that I choose for internship is in Jakarta because it's near from my house in Bekasi.
No, you don't want to work overseas.
What?
Work outside of the country.
For now, for internship, I want to work in Indonesia, in Jakarta especially. Oh, for the future, I want to work in other country, like especially in like China, because I want to college to China. But I want to try in Middle East, especially in Kuwait, because I watching some video like people working here, and then the salary is very big than country Middle East others, like Arabian, Dubai is Kuwait is very big for salary. So maybe I want to change my career IT to like oil and gas or others, because I want to work in Middle East country. So talking about living cost in in Middle East. In Middle East, especially Kuwait, is so many like apartment that is especially is so expensive for Indonesian people because Dubai use dinar. In one dinar is in rupiah like 50,000 rupiah, one dinar in Kuwait. So the living cost in Kuwait is so expensive. Okay, move to Reza. How about work?
My dream job or my future job when I was in other country. I want to work in, especially in Singapore, because at Singapore, before I get a scholarship and then I get many connection at there, because I want to get a international scholarship. So after I get a connection, maybe I want to change my career before I want to be IT engineering. Maybe in Singapore I wanna make my company, my business at there, and then I wanna make some a big different from my parents' company. I want make my parents' company being international, and I want the people in this world knows about my company, my parents' company, and then maybe if I want to do in people company working, maybe I being IT engineering first, and then after I get a lot of money, I want to build my business and my company. After my business and after many people knows about my business and my company, I want to go to US for make my company bigger than before, and then I want to sell about a culture fashion for modern culture for youngest people, maybe can for oldest people, but my target for sell my business is just for youngest people. Then Alwi, what's your future job?
So my country for my work, so I choose the Japanese or Japan because I want to work in there because in Japanese very good work for many people. So in Japanese very easy if you want to work there, because why there is my father in or my dad in there, that works about DKV or designer, so that's why I want to work in Japanese. So in Japanese I want to work since around until I'm rich people, and maybe that's all. Yeah.
Then I have one question for Arkan. What a weakness for What weakness of your dream country, like quiet or maybe like China? What the
Okay.
weakness of
The, weak,
the country?
the weakness and quiet because this year Middle East is very dangerous because Iran and Israel have a conflict. So in Kuwait, because Kuwait is near from, Strait of what is it? Hormuz. So because the conflict is quite, or all Middle East country is dangerous for this year. And then in China, because Muslim is little, so and then China is a communist country, so it's danger for Muslim. But in China now is already many Muslim and in like Uyghur province or other China. So yeah, like that. Then Alwi, what the weakness of your dream country?
My weakness in Japan. Maybe there is no. Because in Japan, good one country in many country. Yeah.
In me, for a weakness from my dream country, for Singapore, maybe a weakness for the Singapore is, that's not a weakness I think, but if you Indonesian people who are maybe still lazy and then too lazy for do little things, you must prepare your mental health, your adaptation at Singapore, because at Singapore many people is discipline and the time management is so. Many people in Singapore, when you work in street work, you must walk fast, like, and then do like people at there. And then for the weakness of Saudi Arabia, is it maybe the weakness is maybe because Saudi Arabia is Middle East, like quiet, and then still have a conflict with another country, and then still war or maybe have a big conflict. So it is dangerous for this year, and then I hope next year my dream country already safe. Then I want to prepare it for go to my dream country. Then for US, the weakness is I think many weakness at US, like many homeless at US, and then if you know, there is one city at US that was a gangster city, then you must careful at there, because if you have a conflict with a people or real people at US, you must prepare yourself at there, and for your mental health you must prepare it again at the US, because for adaptation, maybe if I go to US and then do adaptation around 3 months until 2 months until 3 months at there, because maybe I get a culture shock at there, because in maybe in Indonesia there's not like this, but in US there is many like this, and then normal at there. And for Azmi, for the last, your weakness dream country.
The weakness is I'm allergic to cold, and it's winter. Yeah, so the last thing is we're going to give advice. Each of us are giving one advice before we close the podcast. My advice to everybody who's watching this is without God, you don't have the light. Without the light, you can't reach heaven.
Advice.
My advice from me is never try, never know.
The advice for me is you must have a big dream, because from big dream you can get out of things that you wanted in this world.
My advice is learn until you reach us.
Alright, thank you so much for watching our podcast. And today's Thursday. I hope you guys have a good listener and knowledge. And see you next time. Goodbye. Assalamualaikum
Warahmatullahi
warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
wabarakatuh.